Go up, man!
Means fight by way of knockout. And he fights out fighting England. Introducing the former British IBO and WBA champion, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eubank Jr.
Sit there and pick my bar.
Pull the straw out. Make it higher so I can get him.
That's good. First round's out of the way.
He's opportunity. The left hand, the right hand over the top.
The Destroyer Ben.
And it's a blessing to be fighting back on British soil.
Is there a high level of respect between you and Junior now?
I mean, I wish him well. You know, I know he's gone to the hospital. I've heard he's got a broken jaw.
You know, and you don't see Eubank, Chris was spiteful in that ring. You could tell he could knock him out anytime he wanted, but he didn't want to. He just fucking using the jab and it's hurting him and it's hurting him.
The emotions after that, mate. Just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, what I saw there, I can't even bother to moan about the scorecards because I couldn't be prouder. I mean, listen, I know me and Junior have had our ups and downs, but unbelievable respect to him. But for my man, Conor Benn, you've just seen the beginning, in my opinion, of one of the biggest stars in British boxing, the people's champion. And for all the rubbish he's been through over the last couple of years, and I know how good and clean this kid's heart is, to see him, you know, I don't think he's quite aware yet of the respect.
Competitive all the way through. On edge of your seat, we're good.
Were you impressed by Conor? Because ultimately he was the lighter fighter in there tonight.
Yeah, you know, Eubanks is no Golovkin. You know what I mean? You could see the way it started to look tired, but you know, Conor had that energy. You know, moving up the way, he had more energy inside him. But you know what I mean? Equally matched. You know what I mean? He lived up to the hype, and you know what I mean? They didn't let the fans down.
Who won the fight, Conor?
You may have won the fight, but you're the one in hospital, not me.
If you take a man's soul, that usually means you win the fight.
You may have won the fight.
I've never seen someone's soul get taken and they still win.
So I look at you now and you ain't the same.
The truth is we both ended up in hospital and, you know, I was there for dehydration and you were there for the...
How much weight did you put on after the weigh-in?
Listen,
after the weigh-in,
we're not going to get into weight talks.
Speaking ahead of the fight, Roy Jones Jr., who previously trained Chris Eubank Jr., told TalkSport that he's leaning toward his former fighter. But he also warned that all it takes is one punch from Conor Benn to change everything. Even with Benn moving up in weight, Jones said, Eubank is definitely the bigger and more experienced guy, but you can never ignore Benn's power. If Benn lands clean just once, who knows what could happen? I like Eubank, but Benn is coming from 140.
I think he's coming because of the size.
Yeah. Is that his best route to victory, just to expose himself?
Yep.
Jones Jr. continued, saying the fight is extremely tough for Conor Benn, though not impossible. According to him, Benn's best chance is to land something big early, because surviving 12 rounds against a bigger, stronger, more seasoned fighter will be rough. He added, Chris is a much improved fighter. His foundations are better, his skills are sharper, and he'll be hard to beat, especially for someone naturally smaller. But seeing what Liam Smith did to Eubank probably gave Benn more confidence. Jones believes Eubank still holds the overall advantage in size, strength, and experience.
He's looking at Conor Benn, he's talking to him, he's thinking to himself, When do I splat this egg around the side of his head? When do I do it? How do I do it? Do I put it in his face? Do I put it on his head? Is he going to see me? Because if Conor would have seen him, he might have blocked it and check hooked him. But it was quick. He distracted Conor by saying, "What did you say?" Then he reached for the egg and he clattered him right around the side of the back of the ear and the face. And the egg yolk went everywhere. A lot of the yolk missed him, so it wasn't that embarrassing where he's dribbling with egg yolk.
Carl Froch also understands what it's like to face a bitter rival with months of heated build-up. His first fight with George Groves became exactly that. When Groves got under his skin with mind games, Froch was even dropped early in that fight and later admitted he underestimated his opponent. He won controversially the first time, then decisively in their historic Wembley rematch. Eubank has already gotten into Benn's head, smashing an egg in his face at the first press conference, mocking Benn's failed drug test from 2022. On fight night, Eubank will also have a major size advantage. He has fought as high as super middleweight against top names like George Groves, James DeGale, and Arthur Abraham. Meanwhile, Conor Benn is coming up 2 whole weight divisions to make this fight happen.
You've got to say he's a wide favourite. He's boxed George Groves. He's been in there with
Arthur Abraham.
These are big punching super middles. Do you know what I mean? And his punch resistance might not be what it once was, and might not be the fighter he once was. I'd say he probably is a little bit sharp, but Conor Benn hasn't beaten anyone or fought anyone of the stature of the people that he's performed against, has he, Eubank? If you look at his resume, it's...
The wins against Arthur Abraham and James DeGale. And super middle as well.
Speaking on his own show, Froch on Fighting, Carl Froch sided with the larger, more proven fighter. He said, "When you look at who's done what, who's fought at the higher level, and who's the naturally bigger and stronger man, you have to go with Chris Eubank Jr. He's performed at world level. Conor Benn hasn't. Yes, he looked good knocking out Chris Algieri, but that was a past his prime Algieri. Froch's early pick is clear, Chris Eubank Jr.
And the close loss to Billy Joe Saunders. But the loss to Liam Smith, that was such a bad loss, but he rectified it, wasn't it?
But he rectified it in the rematch, and and Liam's a good fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. He was a good fighter. In the rematch, he was dead himself, wasn't he? He was fucked himself. Do you think that he's a heavy favourite, or do you think he's a slight favourite?
I think he's a heavy favourite. I don't see what you can base, unless you're just going on like hype or something, but I don't see what you can look. You gotta look at.
Former world champion Amir Khan also leaned toward the fighter with the size advantage. Khan said, "I initially picked Chris, even though his last fight didn't impress me. But Conor Benn's 15 months of inactivity could be a big factor. Chris is the older and more experienced fighter here. I'm siding with Eubank, but I'll give my final prediction after the weigh-in when I see how both men look on the scales."
I've initially started off with Chris, even though I wasn't impressed with his last fight, even though I think the inactivity of Conor for the last 15 months might affect it, even though I think he's the older fighter of the two. I'm siding towards Chris, but I'm going to wait until the weigh-in and give you my definitive answer when I see them both on the scale to see what they look like.
Same question.
Worried for Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr. is hard to get completely locked in, let's be honest. We've seen it on occasion. He is ready. He has had a fantastic camp. He is training for this properly. He's had a great camp with Jonathan Banks. He stayed in London. He's not gone anywhere. And he's ready to put on a demolition.
The smaller guy in Conor Benn, he has had his career destroyed for one guy. Because once you go up to 160, going down to fight, then at 140, it doesn't work. These rules are in place to provide a rail for him for his career. My son coming down from 168 to 160 puts his life in danger because I know what it is